All right, so are you ready to hop in our musical time machine?
Yeah, let's go.
Cool. Today we're going to take a deep dive into the Grammy Awards,
Oh, cool.
comparing two totally different years,
Right.
2018 and 2008.
Okay.
We've got all the info about the nominees and the winners, and super curious to see what kind of musical journey we're about to embark on.
Yeah, it is. It's fascinating to see how these awards really capture a snapshot of what was happening musically at that particular moment.
Absolutely.
In time.
Yeah, 2018 and 2008.
Yeah.
There were two very distinct years, musically speaking.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, all right, so let's
Okay.
crank up that time machine and head straight to 2018.
Okay.
What were some of the biggest battles brewing for Album of the Year?
Well, in 2018, it was a year of really bold statements and kind of genre-bending music.
Okay.
You had Bruno Mars bringing back that funky retro vibe, the 24K magic. Kendrick Lamar was dropping some serious truth bombs. Yep.
With his super socially charged album, Damn Lord's Melodrama.
Yeah.
Had everyone just deep in their feelings.
Yeah.
And then Childish Gambino.
Oh, yeah.
Throwing everybody a curveball with Awaken My Love.
Yeah.
A sonic journey into psychedelic funk and soul.
Awaken my love.
Yeah.
Childish Gambino, talk about a chameleon.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That was such a departure from his earlier rap albums.
Yeah, exactly.
Felt like he was channeling Parliament Funkadelic 1 minute and then Prince the next.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a great example of how artists in 2018 were just breaking down genre barriers, just doing their own thing.
Yeah.
But of course, we can't forget Casey Musgrave's Golden Hour. It was such a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
This introspective, almost cosmic take on country music.
Right. And she ended up taking home the gold, right?
That's right.
Her first time being nominated in that category.
Yeah, her first time fall.
Big win for her. And a sign that the Academy was embracing a more nuanced, introspective side of country music.
Yeah.
Especially after, years of bro country dominating the airwaves.
Yeah, it was definitely a statement.
It was.
Okay, let's switch gears to Record of the Year.
All right.
What were some of the tracks vying for that prize?
Well, 2018 was the year.
Yeah.
Despacito basically took over the planet.
Oh, yeah.
Luis Fonsi and Daddy Yankee had everyone singing along, whether they understood the Spanish lyrics or not.
Oh, it was inescapable.
It was.
I remember hearing it everywhere.
Yeah.
Parties, the grocery store.
Yeah, for sure.
Even my grandma humming it.
It was a true global phenomenon.
Right.
Yeah, and I think it marked a turning point
Okay.
for Latin music, reaching a level of mainstream recognition that we hadn't really seen before.
Yeah, speaking of genre bending, Childish Gambino's Redbone was also in the mix. That song had this hypnotic, slow-burning groove that just pulled you in.
Totally.
Oh, man.
And then Bruno Mars back again.
Yeah.
24K Magic, proving he was just a force to be reckoned with in the pop world.
Right.
But ultimately, it was Bruno Mars who won that category.
Okay.
Solidifying his reputation as a true hitmaker.
Interesting. So he took home Record of the Year.
Yeah.
But Casey Musgraves snagged Album of the Year.
Yep.
What about Song of the Year?
Okay.
Were there any surprises there?
Well, Song of the Year is interesting because it really focuses on the craft of songwriting itself, the lyrics, the emotional impact.
Right.
And the winner that year was a truly powerful one.
Okay.
Logic's 1-800-273-8255, featuring Alessia Cara and Khalid.
Wow.
This song tackled the issue of mental health and suicide prevention head on, sparking a much-needed conversation.
Yeah, that's a heavy hitter.
It is.
And so important, especially considering the stigma around mental health.
Oh, absolutely.
Did Logic have any previous Grammy nominations?
He did, actually. He'd been nominated a couple of times before in 2017 for his collaboration with Drake on Hotline Bling.
Oh, yeah.
But this win for 1-800-273-8255 was truly special.
Right.
It felt like a recognition of music's power to address important social issues and to really connect with people on such a personal level.
Yeah. Music can be such a powerful tool for healing and connection.
Absolutely.
Okay. Before we leave 2018, let's talk about the Best New Artist category.
Right.
Who are the fresh faces vying for that coveted title?
Well, 2018 was a really strong year for new talent.
Oh,
You had Alessia Cara, who we just talked about, along with Khalid,
Yeah.
who was gaining a lot of attention.
Right.
Lil Uzi Vert was bringing a new energy to hip-hop. And then there was Julia Michaels.
Yeah.
Already making a name for herself as a songwriter.
Julia Michaels was everywhere back then. She was writing hits for herself and a bunch of other artists.
Right. Powerhouse, behind the scenes, in front of the mic.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there was SZA.
Oh, yeah.
Who burst onto the scene with her critically acclaimed album, Creaturel.
Right.
This, like, raw, honest exploration of womanhood and relationships.
So many talented newcomers.
So many.
Who ended up winning that year.
It was Alessia Cara.
Okay.
Her win felt like a continuation.
Yeah.
The conversation started with 1-800-273-8255.
Right.
It acknowledged her powerful voice and her willingness to address those important issues through her music.
Yeah, all right. I'm feeling like 2018 was a pretty dynamic year for music.
It was.
But we've got a time machine, so let's rewind 10 years back to 2008.
Right.
What kind of musical landscape were we dealing with back then?
Well, 2008 had its own unique energy. It was an era of big anthemic pop production, but also a time of experimentation and unexpected collaborations. Like, for Album of the Year, you had Coldplay.
Okay.
At the peak of their stadium rock sound with Viva La Vida or Death and all his friends.
Right.
Radiohead was pushing boundaries with In Rainbows.
Yeah.
This, like, ethereal, almost otherworldly album.
I remember In Rainbows causing a stir.
It did.
In the music industry, it did. Wasn't that the album they released online using that pay-what-you-want model?
Yes, that's right.
Wow.
Yeah, a bold move.
Yeah.
It was like shaking up the traditional music distribution model and giving fans more control over how they access music. And it paved the way for other artists to experiment with alternative release strategies.
Talk about a game changer.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Okay, so we've got Coldplay and Radiohead in the mix. Who else was vying for Album of the Year?
Well, then you had Lil Wayne, who was at the top of his game with the Carter III.
Right.
This album was like a turning point for hip-hop, showcasing Lil Wayne's just incredible wordplay and, like, pushing the boundaries of the genre.
Right, and let's not forget Amy Winehouse.
Oh, of course not.
Back to Black.
Yeah.
Such a raw, soulful album.
It was a masterpiece, blending soul, jazz, R&B with Amy's, like, powerhouse vocals and those deeply personal lyrics. It was an instant classic.
Yeah.
Resonated with a generation.
And rounding out the Album of the Year nominees, we had Robert Plant and Alison Krauss.
Oh, wow.
What a surprising duo.
Right.
Led Zeppelin frontman teaming up with the bluegrass queen.
I know.
Wow. And their album, Raising Sand, was this beautiful, unexpected blend of their musical worlds.
It was a testament to the power of collaboration and how artists from different genres can create something truly special.
Right. Okay, so that's Album of the Year.
Okay.
What about Record of the Year?
Yeah.
What songs were battling it out for the top spot?
Well, in 2008, you had some massive pop anthems vying for that title. Leona Lewis was dominating the airwaves with Bleeding Love, this, like, powerhouse ballad that showcased her incredible vocal range. And then there was MIA's Paper Planes.
Oh, yeah.
Which was, like, unlike anything else on the radio at that time.
Paper Planes was such a unique blend of sounds.
It was.
It had that infectious beat and those gunshot samples. Totally unexpected.
Right.
And so catchy.
Exactly. And I think it reflected, like, a growing interest in global sounds and incorporating all these different musical influences into pop music.
That sounds a bit like what was happening in 2018 with Despacito, right?
Oh, you're right.
Bringing those global sounds into the mainstream.
Yeah, it's interesting to see these parallels across different years.
Yeah.
Okay, getting back to 2008.
Okay.
We also had Coldplay in the running for Record of the Year with Viva La Vida. That song had this, like, epic, almost operatic feel to it.
Oh, yeah.
Really showcasing their evolution as a band.
And Coldplay's Viva La Vida was nominated for Song of the Year, too, right?
It was.
What were some of the other contenders in that category?
Let's see.
Okay.
You had Sarah Bareilles pouring her heart out in Love Song.
Yeah.
This powerful anthem about staying true to yourself.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Jason Mraz had everyone swaying along to I'm Yours.
Oh, yeah.
This laid-back, feel-good track.
Yours was the ultimate chill-out anthem.
It was.
And then there was Duffy, right?
Oh, yeah.
Her song Mercy had this retro soul vibe that was so captivating.
Right. Duffy's Mercy was, like, a throwback
Yeah.
to classic soul and Motown, but with a modern edge.
Yeah.
It was a huge hit,
Right.
capturing the hearts of audiences worldwide.
Yeah, so many great songs to choose from.
So many.
Who ended up taking home the award for Song of the Year in 2008?
It was Coldplay
Okay.
for Viva La Vida. The song's combination of like soaring melodies,
Yeah.
thoughtful lyrics, epic production really resonated with voters, earning them their first Song of the Year Grammy.
Okay, so Coldplay had a big year in 2008.
They did.
And before we dive into the nominees for Best New Artist,
Yeah.
did they have any previous Grammy wins or nominations?
They did, actually. They had won 3 Grammys before 2008.
All right.
One in 2004 for Best Alternative Music Album
Okay.
for A Rush of Blood to the Head.
Right.
And 2 in 2006.
Okay.
Best Rock Song and Best Rock Album for Speed of Sound.
Yeah.
So by 2008, they were already established Grammy darlings.
That's quite a track record.
It is.
Okay, let's talk about the fresh faces of 2008.
All right.
Who was in the running for Best New Artist?
Well, 2008 was a year of like incredible breakout talent.
Okay.
You had Adele, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Making her grand entrance.
Yeah.
With her soulful voice and those heartbreaking ballads.
Right, right.
Duffy, who we just talked about, was captivating audiences with her retro soul sound.
Yeah.
And then there was Lady Gaga.
Oh, yeah.
Just starting to turn heads with her theatrical pop persona.
Right.
And those unforgettable outfits.
Lady Gaga, remember those first music videos?
Oh, yeah.
The costumes,
Really?
the dancing, the whole spectacle of it all. It was like nothing we'd seen before.
She was a true original, pushing the boundaries of pop music, and challenging conventional notions of fame and artistry.
Right.
And then, of course, you had the Jonas Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
At the height of their teen idol fame.
The Joe Bros, they were everywhere.
They were.
Movies, TV shows, magazines, and, of course, the radio. They definitely had a huge fan base back then.
They did. Huge.
Yeah, and they represented the power of teen pop and its ability to just connect with a massive audience.
Right.
And last but not least, you have Estelle, a British singer-songwriter bringing a fresh blend of soul, R&B, and hip-hop to the scene. So out of all these amazing new artists who ended up taking home the Best New Artist Grammy in 2008?
It was Adele.
Wow.
Her win was a clear sign that her soulful voice, her raw emotion, her honest songwriting had struck a chord with a massive audience. It was the beginning of what would become a truly legendary career.
Yeah, it's amazing to think about how both Adele and Alessia Cara used their platform to address important social issues, even early on in their career.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It speaks to the power that music has to connect with people on a deeper level.
Yeah, it's not just about catchy melodies. Right. You know, it's about sharing stories and experiences that resonate with listeners.
For sure.
Okay, so we've taken a deep dive into both 2018 and 2008.
We have.
What stands out to you when you compare these 2 years? What similarities and differences do you see in the music? Well, I think what's fascinating is how both years really reflect this push for change and evolution in music. In 2008, you had Radiohead shaking things up with their Hey What You Want release strategy for In Rainbows. Right. It's a huge statement. Challenging that traditional music industry model.
Yeah, and it paved the way for artists to have more control over their music.
Totally.
And connect directly with their fans. It's almost like a precursor to the streaming era.
Right.
Where artists are less reliant on record labels and have more freedom to release music on their own terms.
Yeah, exactly.
And then in 2018, you see this reflected in the rise of independent artists.
Yeah.
And the blurring of genre lines. Artists like Childish Gambino and Casey Musgraves.
Right.
They were defying expectations and creating their own unique sounds.
Absolutely.
It's like artists were saying, forget the rules, we're going to make the music we want to make.
For sure.
And it resonated with listeners who were hungry for something different, something authentic.
Absolutely.
Audiences were becoming more open to exploring different genres and sounds.
Yeah.
Streaming platforms definitely played a role in that.
For sure.
Giving people access to a wider range of music than ever before.
Yeah, and speaking of streaming, wasn't 2018 also the year Drake's Scorpion broke streaming records?
Yes, it felt like everyone was listening to that album.
Oh, it did. It was everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it solidified Drake's status as like the streaming king.
Right.
It's a great example of how technology and the way we consume music directly influenced like the charts and the award nominations.
Absolutely. Okay, so both 2018 and 2008 saw major shifts in the music landscape.
Yeah.
But were there any similarities between the 2 years?
Well, one thing that stands out to me is the prominence of, like, strong female vocalists.
Okay.
In 2008, you had Adele, Duffy, and Estelle,
right,
all with their own unique styles,
yeah,
but possessing just incredible vocal power
right,
and captivating stage presence.
Yeah, and in 2018, you had artists like Lady Gaga, Casey Musgraves, and SCA,
Yeah.
all pushing boundaries and challenging conventions with their music and their artistry.
Right. It's inspiring to see so many talented women really making their mark on the music industry, both then and now.
It's like there's this thread of female empowerment running through both years.
Totally.
Okay. And what about the overall mood or vibe of the music? Did you notice any similarities or differences?
Yeah, I think both 2018 and 2008 had a sense of introspection and vulnerability running through a lot of the music.
Right.
In 2008, you had Amy Winehouse's Back to Black,
Yeah.
which was just so raw and honest.
Yeah.
And then in 2018, you had Lord's Melodrama, like this coming-of-age album full of heartache and self-discovery.
It's like artists were tapping into these universal emotions,
Right.
you know, these experiences that we all go through. Love, loss, heartbreak.
Yeah.
Searching for your place in the world.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what makes music so powerful.
For sure.
It can connect with us on a deeply personal level, even when the artist's lives seem so different from our own.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so before we wrap up this musical journey through time,
Okay.
I think it's time for some album recommendations.
Right.
Based on everything we've discussed, what albums from 2008 and 2018 do you think our listeners should check out?
Well, for 2008, I'm going to recommend Radiohead's and Rainbows.
Okay.
It's an album that just truly pushed boundaries musically and in terms of how it was released. It's experimental, it's atmospheric, it's just incredibly rewarding to listen to.
And Rainbows is a classic for a reason.
It is.
Okay, so I've got one for 2018.
Okay.
I think our listeners should give Casey Musgrave's Golden Hour a spin.
Oh, wow.
It's such a beautiful album full of warmth and introspection. It's like a sonic hug.
It is. It really is.
Golden Hour is just this perfect blend of modern and classic country.
Yeah.
With just a touch of cosmic magic.
I love that.
I think those are some great recommendations.
Yeah.
They both represent the innovative spirit and the emotional depth that we've been talking about.
For sure.
Okay, so as we near the end of our deep dive, what's one final thought-provoking question you'd like to leave our listener with?
Ooh, well, we've talked about how music reflects the time in which it was created. It captures the trends, the emotions, the social and political climate of that era.
Yeah.
So my question is this.
Okay.
What do you think the music of today says about our current moment in history? What stories are being told? What emotions are being expressed? And what impact will this music have on future generations?
Ooh, that's a great question.
A big one.
It's definitely something to ponder as we continue to explore this ever-evolving world of music.
Yeah, it really makes you think about the legacy we're creating through music right now.
It's like we're all contributing to this ever-growing soundtrack of human experience.
It's true, and it's constantly evolving. Who knows what sounds and stories will be shaping the Grammys 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 50 years from now.
It's exciting to think about.
It is.
It really is. Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
From the genre-bending sounds of 2018 to those powerhouse vocalists of 2008.
Yeah.
It's been a blast taking this musical journey through time with you.
The pleasure was all mine. It's always a joy to kind of delve into the world of music and explore how it reflects like our culture and our individual experiences.
And speaking of exploring, we can't let our listener go without a little homework assignment.
Oh, yeah, some homework.
So you've already recommended Radiohead's and Rainbows for 2008.
Yeah.
And I'm still loving Casey Musgrave's Golden Hour for 2018.
Good choice.
Any other albums you think our listeners should add to their playlist?
Let me think for 2008.
Okay.
I think Amy Winehouse's Back to Black
is
just a must-listen,
timeless
album. that really captures the raw emotion and soulful energy of that era.
Back to Black is such a powerful album.
It is.
It's heartbreaking and beautiful all at the same time.
I agree.
Okay, and for 2018?
For 2018, I'd recommend checking out Janelle Monáe's Dirty Computer.
Oh, yeah. Good one.
It's a concept album that explores themes of identity, sexuality, and liberation.
Right.
All wrapped up in this like incredible blend of funk soul and futuristic pop.
Dirty Computer is a masterpiece.
It is.
It's bold, it's thought-provoking, and it's just so much fun to listen to.
It's so good.
I think those are some excellent additions to our listeners' musical exploration.
I hope they enjoyed the journey.
And I hope they'll join us again for another deep dive into the world of music.
Let's do it again sometime.
Until then, keep listening, keep exploring, and keep letting the music move you.
Absolutely.